Request for repairs. What in the world does that mean if I'm a buyer or a seller in a real estate transaction in Sacramento? Check out this video, I'll give you some good insight. Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your Sacramento area realtor. And this is a video series I've been doing called Sacramento Real Estate Explained. This video we're going to hit on what's called the request for repairs. Okay, so you're in a real estate transaction, you're in escrow, right? Well, you move forward, usually you do some inspections as well as have an appraisal done on the property, okay? And in those inspections, every house has got some stuff, you're going to find some things. Typically, you're going to want to do a roof inspection, a pest inspection, a sewer inspection, a home inspection. You know, you're going to want to at least do those four. If it's got a pool, you're going to want to get that checked out. And then there's some additional things beyond there you could do as well. Chimney, HVAC, you name it. There's all kinds of inspections out there available. But as a buyer, you're basically trying to equip yourself with knowledge and information about the process. And so when all those reports, all those inspections get done, you get all the reports back, that's when, as a buyer, you sit down with your agent. So my client would be with me, and we'd go over them. We'd talk about, okay, you know, this is smaller, this is a thing here, but this item right here, this is a larger thing. This is something to be concerned about. This is a big deal. It's a safety concern, or it really shouldn't be that way, or this is very uncommon, those types of things. So you typically have, you know, a bunch of stuff with the house. There's little things here and there, but then you've got kind of this bulk list of maybe 4 or 5 kind of crucial things that's like, whoa, this is a little nerve-wracking or an issue, or this is something that's common that a seller typically would take care of, that type of stuff. So there's a form called a request for repairs. Your real estate agent fills it out, and basically you ultimately decide, hey, we're going to submit this form to the seller, and it's kind of a new round of negotiation. We're saying, hey, seller, here's all the reports. So with the request for repairs, your agent is going to mark off C, pest inspection, blah, blah, dated, blah, 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 roof inspection, sewer inspection, and they're going to reference all of those. And you're going to actually, it's going to be in an email, but it's going to get bundled up and provided to the seller so that when they see that request, they're saying, oh, we'd like section 1 items of the pest report taken care of. We want the termites and the dry rot to be addressed and dealt with. Or there's roots in the sewer line. We'd like that to be dealt with. Here's the pest report so that you can see we're not just making something up. Here's the sewer inspection report so you can see we're not just making this up. We've got some meat with this that you actually can show there's substance to your request. Okay? Additionally, you want to get the appraisal back as well, because the appraiser not only is checking out the comps to figure out the value on the property, they're also doing their own little miniature visual inspection, and they're looking for specific things. There's got to be carbon monoxide detector and smoke detectors. Depending on what type of financing, either conventional or FHA, there's minimum guidelines such as the door from the house to the garage needs to be self-closing and close all the way. All those types of things. So if your appraiser, they might flag something with the property as well. And if they do, that needs to be at the top of your request for repairs, because you can't move forward with the sale unless those items get taken care of. So in a scenario like that where the appraiser might flag a couple of things, that needs to be at your top of your request for repairs. And then additionally, anything extra that might have came up in your extra inspections that you had done as well. Inspections are not intended to be this, here's seller, here's our list of everything that came up, and you just provide them, fix everything. It's not that. Every house has some things. It's what is the big issues? What are the safety issues? What are the concerns, you know, that really need to be addressed? If there's leaks somewhere or an electrical a safety issue, things like that. That's what then gets submitted to the request for repairs to the seller. The seller then sits down. So if I'm on the other side now, I'm working with my seller, we're going to sit down, we're going to look at their list, and then we're also going to reference their reports. And we're going to go through it and pick it apart, and we're going to say, okay, you know, 1, 2, and 3, those are legitimate things. If you weren't aware of this, you're lucky that you didn't have a fire because of this electrical issue, or you didn't even know, but the plumbing's been leaking underneath your house in the crawl space area for months and you're not even aware of it, or, you know, something like that. Yeah, that's legit. We need to get that taken care of. But, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, those are pretty silly. Those are small little things. We'll come back to them and say, yes, we're agreeable to these items, we're not agreeable to these other items, and it becomes a little bit of a negotiation back and forth. So that's ultimately what the request for repairs is when you're in escrow after you've done your appraisal and your inspections. If there's some legitimate things that are health, safety concern issues, or just larger major items, then you can submit what's called a request for repairs to the seller, work out a negotiation. A lot of times the sellers, they don't want to have to deal with the repairs, so it's not uncommon for a seller to actually respond saying, okay, we agree some of these things are legitimate, but we're not going to hire people to be doing the work. We're going to give you a credit so that after we close, you've got the money to hire whoever you want, and you deal with getting it taken care of and having it done in the way that you want. It keeps it a little bit cleaner that way. The seller is not really responsible for exactly it being buttoned up right and everything. There's no argument later about whether it was done right or not done right, or this person should have done it or that person should have done it. It kind of puts it into the buyer's hand, and they have control over the process if you do a credit. So some things you definitely need to have taken care of. If it is items that came up on the appraisal, absolutely has to be done. The appraiser has to come back and sign off on them. If there's other things that it's clear there's a dollar amount, it's gonna be $1,200 for this, whatever. Sometimes the seller might come back and just say, hey, I'm gonna give you a credit for that rather than us, directly fixing it, and you can take care of it after close of escrow. So in a nutshell, there's a request for repairs. If you're looking to connect with me, feel free to check out my website, realestatewithdoug.com. If you're looking to buy something or thinking about maybe selling a property in the near future, reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you. Buyers, I can get you in touch with my lender. We can sit down, talk strategy on the buying process. Sellers, we can start talking about your property, get you in a position of strength so that you're going to do great when we get your house on the market and have wonderful success that way. Just looking forward to providing excellent service to both my buyer and seller clients. So hope this video was helpful. Look forward to talking to you soon, and clear skies.